Hello Gurus, welcome back to another Alpha session. In today's video, I'm going to continue that offensive program with ChatGPT. I have already done one video for this one. On my first video, I did use ChatGPT to develop a reversal agent and controller over that was communicating over TCP using Golang. And I'm continuing on the second button still in Golang. Because I'm more familiar with Go. So if you haven't seen that first video, just go and watch it. How we ask ChatGPT to give us code snippets that will help us to make a reversal. The same thing I'm doing here, but in a different way. This time we are planning HTTP reversals. That means the agent and controller will be communicating over HTTP. So it will be entirely different from the last one, since HTTP is an application layer protocol. So, and you know the benefits of HTTP, how effective it will be like when it comes to reversals, rather than going directly into the network layer. And no, in using HTTP have more benefits than directly getting a shell over TCP. So yeah, that's it for the description part. And one more thing, if you are not familiar with Golang, I highly recommend you first go and learn Go programming and then come here, since there is no meaning of um, watching this video without knowing how Go apps works, or if you don't know how to write programs in Go, it will be really difficult for you. I highly recommend Free Code Camp's recent Go programming video. It's a very good lengthy one for beginners, and if you have enough time, just go and explore that, and then come back here. So yeah, let us dive into our topic. As I said, today we are going to ask ChatGPT to give us some reversals, agent and controller. And I have learned a lot. In fact, I think ChatGPT improved, or I don't know, I improved or ChatGPT improved. Last time when I was asking reversals, ChatGPT was saying it can't provide that because of its, it has different modes. Still, you can use normal mode, or you can bypass the modes that you can search. The famous ones, I think, Dan do anything and dude mode. Those modes are really working. But the current one I'm showing here, without breaking any modes, we still ask ChatGPT a reversal, but not asking directly a reversal, but in an indirect way. So before that, yeah, you should know one thing: how a reversal works, especially the technology. When you're asking, you should know how it is working. Otherwise, even generative AI can't help you when they have restrictions, especially when you ask for some codes, words. I mean, some specific words like reversals or malwares. These guys, I mean, generative AI is getting smart enough to block us. So you should know what you should ask before you're planning for something. So this was the first question. I mean, this was the first piece of code I got from ChatGPT when I asked for a reversal controller and agent, and I explicitly mentioned it, like how it communicates, like what. And one more thing, actually, I hope you know, is a better way of asking ChatGPT is assign a role first, and you just say it is acting as something, or you can say you are. That's a better prompt that I feel personally. So after that, I just mentioned my aim, what exactly I'm planning. I'm just saying that I'm planning to develop 2 CLI apps in Golang that communicates over HTTP. Agent and controller apps. Agent communicates to the server over HTTP. The controller sends commands to the agent over HTTP, and the agent executes the commands and sends the results back to the controller. So this is a basic function of reversals. So you should know how a reversal works. Then, if you know how to tell ChatGPT how that function works, then you will get the code snippets, exact code snippets. And if you're directly asking I want a reversal, ChatGPT may say because of that word reversal, it considers it as something malicious. You may not get the exact code that you are expecting. So here is the first piece of code that ChatGPT gave me. This one, first one is agent, and second one is a controller. I'll show you the problem. So in this code, first I am copying this one. I already did this one before the demo, so I'm just creating another file here and say new test agent .go, pasting it, create another file, new control.test go. Okay, let us see what happens. Okay, save it. Let's go here, and this is the controller app, and I'm pasting it here. See, this was first one. So what it's trying to do is this agent code is trying to communicate to this basically the web server based on the address and port, and then it try to get a URL that ends with that /commands. Then if it's getting, I mean, it is supposed to have, the server is supposed to have a /commands link, and if there is a link, it's reading the response, reading all the response, and then converting the response to string. Then is using exec.command. Exec is a package inside the OS, so it's basically used to execute commands. Like you can execute external commands. Suppose if you're passing command like who am I, or something like that, host name, so something, whatever it is, it executes here, and after that creates a buffer. And what is exactly is doing is it is getting that std out, that means output of the command, assigning to the command that's written by this exec command. So basically it saves the output to this one, and then it runs it. After running everything, if it's working fine, is writing back the result to another URL that's called /results. So basically the server or the controller should have this commands and results there, and it's just writing as a buffer. It's very simple logic. Whatever we ask, actually it's generate a code snippet for us. So just see what exactly the new test.go has. Yeah, it has a command function, /commands function, that checks whether the method is get. Then it says, the command is saying is it's a Linux command, but I'm going to test it here, so I'm just saying who am I just remove that, replace that with Windows command, or it's a common command. So, and then we are writing the response. So the same thing here, response back to, I mean, after here when it sees it's a get request, it just send a commands to the caller. So when the agent is calling, agent is coming here and is requesting for a commands URL, so it just assign this who am I value here, writing back to the command. So when the first call is happening here, it is getting that response. Inside the response, it is getting this command. So how beautifully it's creating those codes, with all the commands and what it's doing. Then when it comes to results, again it is just writing back to the result. The agent is writing back to the results URL. So here the same thing is doing. The result is reading the results, and yeah, just logging if it's an error, or yeah, here it is reading the result and printing to the console. So here is the main part. It should be running on a specific port because it's acting like a web server, so it should be running on a specific ports. Here I'm going to say the port is 8080, and there is nothing more we can do here. Here we have to mention your IP. And this is my IP, and the agent I have mentioned the IP. Then the port should be the same port as a web server. So now we have a code, and so I don't know how it's going to work. There are problems in this code, but let me show you what the exact problem is. So here go and we the better thing is, the better part is I can come here and change this one to new test agent. There is something that you should know. If your Go module is on, then you have to create mode files and do this. But for Pentesting scenario, I think mostly especially for these small projects, you don't need to create any mode files. You can directly just run it as simple individual files. For that purpose, you have to set this module off. And this is a basic go build command. We are just removing the debugging symbols and explicitly mentioning the mode is exe. So it will that supposed to be the output should be optimized. And new controller test. So it's nothing but it's a bad file. I don't want to type the commands every time, so just build bad, and it is building new test agent, new controller. So just say new test agent and new controller. I say build it. So the first thing you have to run is our new controller. Allow for this and new test agent. So here you got a result. It's a result of who am I. See after see results and to control successfully. That means it is working. Why? Because we explicitly mentioned inside the controller what command we should send to this one, to the agent. And agent did the basic stuff. It executed the command and sent back the result to the controller. But this is not the way the reversal is working. A reversal actually is a continuous listening. It continuously listening on some port, and the agent should be communicating to that port continuously, not only one time. So the basic problem in this one is it is not inside a loop. So either you can try yourself by putting a loop here, or you can come and ask ChatGPT again what exactly we missed on the last part. And and one more thing is here we explicitly we have mentioned inside the program what command we have to send. So I don't want the controller to be like that. I want the controller should be accepting keyboard input as commands from the user, and this always has to send the command to the agent till I'm just mentioned that till the user says exit as a command. So here also I missed one part. Like I'll show you here. It again gave back me the controller code. It didn't do anything on that agent because I didn't say the agent should be communicating over continuously to the controller. So I'm just copying this piece of code here. I'm going to change it in the new test controller. So we should be changing the port. Now what exactly is doing on whenever it is getting slash commands URL request, it checks for the method. If it's a get method, then it creates a reader. Basically this reader helps us to read from the keyboard. So the reading is ~n. That means when we press enter. So after that it trims a space and send the command to whoever is calling this. So basically it's going to send this command to the agent. So agent, there is no change here till now. So what happens here, just build it and run it again. Here did I stop it? Build it again. Okay, now we are running the controller again. What's happening here? In fact, we didn't change anything on the agent, so this must not much change. But here the change in controller, it's accepting the input from the user. So I'm just saying host name. See, now it received the host name as a result. So but the problem here in agent is agent quit after sending the result. So the next step or the step we wanted to ask in the previous question was regarding this loop. So come here again. I will show you what did I ask to this. So I again, after the controller change, now we have the controller that we want. It is just like what exactly we need. It should allow the user to enter commands. So after that, now we have to change the agent. So I just mentioned the agent should also request to the controller for command in every 3 seconds. I just mentioned in a way that every 3 seconds the agent should be communicating to the controller and wait for its commands. So you can so it gave me this code, this piece of code. I'm just taking it. I'm going to change it here. After changing it, we have a look into the code, what changes it made. Not this one. One second. Is this the controller code? Okay, yeah. I think this is the one. let me check the agent that oh yes, the same thing. New agent, yeah. Here you just change 192.168.1.992 and the port was 8080. Here it created a timer and now it is inside a loop, and based on the tick, 3 seconds, every 3 seconds it's trying to get the controller URL plus the slash commands, and if it's having a command from the controller, it is taking the command and executing the command just like the previous one. The only difference here it did was the controller now is inside a loop. So this is somewhat we are very closer, or mostly this is the thing that we need for a basic reversal. Let us see how it works, then we can decide on the changes. So this code, basically this is a stuff normally SE2, how SE2 works, or no, every specific time, maybe a time interval, that agent communicates to the controller, and the controller sending a command to the agent, then the agent executes it and sends the results back to the command controller. So after breaking this one, we are going to make the new agent so now it is done. Let me test it. New controller. So it's waiting for the connection, and the new test agent is here. Now I'm checking it on the same machine. I will show you after finishing this one. I mean, like, if it's working fine here, I will drag this to the folder of my virtual machine and check it. So here it is. I'm just checking host name. I'm getting it. Who am I? I'm getting the result, because every 3 seconds that controller, see here that the result is different. Don't get confused. Okay, here the host name was this one. Then so okay, let us see another command. Wow, we're getting everything what we needed. So but still it has an issue. I will tell you the issue later. So I'm just saying exit. Yeah, the program exited, but see here, after exiting is trying to connect back to the controller every 3 seconds. So the good thing is, whenever the controller is going to up, it again gets connected, and you can send the command to this agent. So basically this is working. So just I'm moving this one to my testing machine just to confirm it is working fine as we expected. So copying a new controller agent to detail test cases. So let me run my controller here, controller test, and let me go to my machine here. So copy the drive, new testing.exe to here, and I'm going to run this new testing.exe. I don't know. Yeah, we got the reversal. yeah, still that AV is running, different is running there as usual. So just say host name, and who am I? See. So next thing is IP config. Just check it. So I'm getting the results here. So it is working perfectly. Like it's just communicating out HTTP and sending commands, getting back. But the problem here is, suppose these the tested commands are exe files in Windows. So it can execute independently and send you back the command result. But what if it is like dir? See, you don't get anything back. So you have to modify it again. That I'm just leaving to you. It's very basic change. You don't need to. It's not a big rocket science. Just some basic changes on the agent, especially in this area. I'm just leaving that to you, whoever is viewing this. If you are interested in developing that, just check it. It's very, very easy. Just think about why it is we are not getting the dir commands result. And once if you get it, just post your result as a in the comment section. Just make it more interactive, so I can just continue this series. Not really in Golang. We will continue this series with more experiments in other languages and with more in detail. So reversals or malwares, whatever it is. So here is the part you have to change. The code that we got from ChatGPT is not working with dir, has a specific reason. So just check that here and find the answer and make the changes here and just create it and post it in your GitHub or somewhere and just share the link. You will check the code, let others learn the same thing. If you didn't get it, just let me know. I can help, but better you just try it yourself. And we continue this with another interesting series, another interesting shells or something else. So that's end of second part. That's it for this video. And did I forget something? I think I have covered what I planned. Yeah, that's it for this video. I'm working on other series of especially programming stuff in cybersecurity. I will continue this ChatGPT one, but I'm planning some basic programming tutorials, especially using Rust and Go. Both are very powerful languages, so I'm just making it as exclusive for cybersecurity projects. Just something in my mind is I'm just working on that. I will reveal that later. So that's it for this video. See you then on next video. Don't forget to make the program change and make it work. One more thing, if somebody wants to, if you are not able to see the code completely, or if you want to see the source code, just ask me, I can give, or you just ask yourself to ChatGPT and get the codes and run it yourself and say. And if you get it, I mean, like, if you are very smart enough to ask ChatGPT to make it, yeah, definitely it will do that for you. But I'm just forcing you, just don't do that. At least you just reach till this stage and make the changes yourself. Identify the issue and just run it, and make changes and run it, and make it convenient for you to just make it in a way that it should work on any command that is supplied by the controller. So yeah, I'm expecting your comments with the answers on the comment section. That's it for now, and it's a bye from Alphas. See you on next video with another engaging tutorial. Bye.